Welcome to the 5-Minute English Vocabulary Podcast. My name is Herbert Lee, and I'll be your host. Now you can easily improve your vocabulary without memorizing long lists of boring words, and still develop a powerful command of English. You'll learn the origin of words, or etymology, told as easy-to-remember stories. You'll also hear some jokes, and learn some idioms as well. Episode 2 of Season 2, Words of the Year 2022, Part 3. Colin's Word of the Year 2022 is Perma Crisis. Perma Crisis is a term that describes an extended period of instability and insecurity, and has been named Colin's Word of the Year 2022. It is one of several words Collins highlights that relate to ongoing crises that the world has faced and will continue to face, including political instability, the war in Ukraine, climate control, and the cost of living crisis. The managing director of Collins Learning, Alex Beecroft, has said that Perma Crisis sums up quite clearly how truly awful 2022 has been for so many people. The word is a portmanteau of permanent and crisis, and actually has been in use for a little longer. In April of 2021, policy analysts in Europe saw it as defining the era in which we live. Some in Britain inevitably ascribe the genesis of that era to Brexit. Others point to the pandemic. For others still, it was Russia's invasion of the Ukraine that made the word indispensable. Permacrisis signals not only a loss of faith in progress, but also a new realization of how people can cope with and achieve in difficult situations. Our crises have become so complex and deep-seated that they can go beyond our capacity to understand them. Any decision to tackle them risks only making things worse. We are thus faced with a troubling conclusion. Our crises are no longer a problem. They are a stubborn fact. Another word that made the short list was warm banks. Warm banks refers to a heated building where people cannot afford to heat their own homes as a place to go. The UK is a relatively wealthy country, but people cannot pay their energy bills. Electricity and gas bills could rise fourfold this year. Even well-paid people are struggling. Lower-paid workers are faced with a stark choice of heating or eating. Many towns are converting libraries into spaces where people can stay warm for free, and these are called heat banks or warm banks. UK has hundreds of food banks which provide food for people in need. So warm banks or heat banks comes from this idea. In Asia, we don't have a heating problem. We have a cooling problem. So when the heat goes up, everyone heads for shopping malls, movie theaters, and large hotels. All of them have great air conditioning. Maybe we should call them cool banks. Britons are taking drastic measures to save on heating costs. One woman turned off her fridge and is keeping her food in cold water. A man switched off his electric kettle and is drinking cold water. Last winter, a lady sat on a bus all day instead of sitting at home in the cold. People are angry about the record profits oil companies are making, and the government is reluctant to tax them. Each year in the UK, cold weather kills around 11,400 people. This year, the figure will increase dramatically. Here's another word that made the short list: quiet quitting. Quiet quitting refers to doing the minimum requirements of one's job and putting in no more time, effort, or enthusiasm than absolutely necessary. As such, it is something of a misnomer, since the worker doesn't actually leave their position and continues to collect a salary. A 2022 Gallup survey suggested that at least half of the U.S. workforce consists of quiet quitters. The reaction of managers has been mixed. Some have been tolerant because of the tight labor market of recent years, which makes replacing quiet quitters difficult, at least for the time being. Others have responded to quiet quitting by quietly or loudly firing employees whom they see as slacking off. Quiet firing has become a buzz phrase in its own right, generally defined as making a job so unrewarding that the employee will feel compelled to resign. Beyond the workplace, the term quiet quitting is also applied to non-work aspects of people's lives, such as marriages and relationships. Here are some more jokes with my daughter Liesel. My ex-wife still misses me.
But her aim is steadily improving.
Vegans believe meat eaters and butchers are gross.
But those who sell you fruits and vegetables are grosser.
What does a grape say after it's been stepped on?
Nothing, it just lets out a little whine.
I dig, you dig, she dig, we dig, you dig.
The poem may not be beautiful, but it's certainly very deep.
A horse walks into a bar.
The bartender says, "Why the long face?"
When you get depressed in the middle of winter, just chuck some butter from your window.
You'll see a butterfly.
What do computers snack on?
Microchips.
Somebody stole all my lamps.
I couldn't be more delighted.
I was recently diagnosed with color blindness.
It came out of the blue.
Why did the pig leave the party early?
Because everyone thought he was a bore.
So this is the end of the Words of the Year 2022. The next episode will feature previous winners of Word of the Year, with more words and less explanation. So until then, it's Herbert Lee wishing you a wonderful journey in your vocabulary studies.